Phew! I don't want to study anymore.
Yeah, the mall is having a sale today. I really want to go shopping for clothes.
How about we grab a drink first, then come back and continue studying?
Staring at the mountain of homework piled on her desk, the girls felt overwhelmed. Aiko, Natsumi, and Kori left their desks, overflowing with books and assignments, and headed out of the school library toward a nearby café.
I'm sorry, I think I forgot my money.
As they sat in the cafe, sipping their drinks and enjoying the moment, a familiar voice came from the counter. Aiko turned toward the voice and saw Souta rummaging through his pockets in a panic. He searched everywhere, but not a single coin appeared. His embarrassed expression revealed his unease as he avoided eye contact with the cashier.
How much is it?
Aiko got up, walked over to Souta, and asked the cashier. Souta looked at Aiko as if she were his savior. The awkward atmosphere eased considerably.
Thank you so much today. I don't know what I would have done without you guys. It was so embarrassing.
It's no big deal. Don't worry about it.
By the way, next weekend is my birthday. My grandma wants me to go back to the countryside to celebrate. Do you guys want to come along? My dad can drive you there.
Souta's eyes lit up with excitement at the thought of sharing his birthday with more friends. Aiko and her friends quickly accepted his invitation. On Saturday morning, the weather was exceptionally clear.
Good morning.
Natsumi and Kori arrived at Aiko's house early, carrying their packed bags. Souta's dad's car was already waiting downstairs.
Good morning!
Haruto stepped out of the car just as Aiko came downstairs. Their eyes met briefly. Souta introduced.
Haruto is coming with us. This is Aiko, Kori, and Natsumi. They're my friends. We already know each other, right, Aiko?
Souta's dad drove steadily, the car transitioning from the bustling city to tranquil countryside fields. From the front seat, Souta's mom turned around and asked,
I brought snacks and drinks. Does anyone want some?
That's great!
Everyone cheered, enjoying the treats and lively conversation during the long journey. The scenery outside shifted like a fast-forwarding movie transitioning from the bustling city to the tranquil countryside, where endless fields, majestic mountains, and the vast blue sky stretched as far as the eye could see. Occasionally, faint bird calls echoed from above, as if nature itself had pressed pause on the world. Finally, they arrived at Souta's grandmother's house. In front of her stood a very traditional Japanese home, surrounded by piles of dusty old items outside. The entire house carried an unmistakable air of nostalgia, steeped in the memories of bygone years.
Grandma, I'm back. I brought my friends to meet you.
Aiko and her friends followed Souta and his parents into the house. An elderly woman dressed in a grey kimono, her face warm with a kind smile, appeared to greet them.
That's wonderful. Come in, come in. I've prepared tea and snacks in the living room.
Please, make yourselves comfortable. Sit down, enjoy some snacks.
Nearby, Souta's father smiled, inviting them to relax and enjoy the moment.
Dorayaki, my favorite.
Souta wasted no time digging into the snacks. At that moment, a fluffy white dog bounded into the room, leaping straight into Souta's arms.
Shiro!
Souta laughed, petting the wagging dog affectionately. Aiko reached for a skewer of mitarashi dango, just as Haruto did. Their hands brushed and both of them froze, faces turning red in unison. The moment passed unnoticed by everyone else except Kori.
Haruto, how did you and Souta meet?
I met him when I transferred schools.
Haruto explained simply.
Haruto is incredible. Our team wouldn't have won without him, and he always scores near-perfect marks on exams. He's even tutored me a few times. Haruto helps anyone who asks. He just can't say no. Honestly, lots of girls at school ask for his help.
Before Souta could finish, Natsumi had already picked up on his meaning. Aiko had only interacted with Haruto a few times, sometimes found her thoughts drifting to him. Hearing Taichi's words only piqued her curiosity further. By the riverside, Souta carefully cast the fishing rod he had prepared into the water. She stared at the calm river surface, captivated, until the rod suddenly bobbed up and down. Realizing it might be a fish, she eagerly grabbed the rod and tried to reel it in. However, as a novice, she fumbled, unsure of what to do next.
Hold it here, near the upper middle section. That'll give you better control over the strength and direction.
Aiko turned her head and saw Haruto standing close, his hands steadying hers on the fishing rod. Focused intently on the line dipping into the water, Haruto seemed unaware of how his arms nearly encircled her. His swift and efficient movements quickly reeled in the fish.
That's enough. I can handle this myself.
She promptly pushed him away.
Are you sure you don't need help?
I don't need help.
Aiko replied firmly. Without another word, Haruto let go. Looking down at Aiko, the fish in her hands struggled more fiercely, flailing a few times before slipping into the grass by the riverbank. Aiko rushed over to find it. She crouched down and reached into the grass, her hand brushing against something slimy. It was a particularly large frog. Aiko screamed and flung the frog away, losing her balance and tumbling into the river. With a loud splash, her friends turned toward the sound and shouted in alarm. Haruto was the first to react. Without a second thought, he jumped into the river. His skilled swimming brought him to Aiko's side in no time, and within a few strokes, he had pulled her back to the shore. Lying on the grass, Aiko slowly opened her eyes. Seeing the worried expressions of everyone around her, she finally realized what had just happened.